All right, it's Tuesday. No, it's Monday. It's Monday, and we're gonna be prepping some. Uh, what are we gonna prep? We're gonna be prepping some Stolen Fate. That's what we're gonna be prepping. So, yeah, we're in book 2. We're in, I want to say, the middle of book 2, which means we have a long way to go before we get to the end of the book. Also, like, I had to run I want to say last Wednesday, I had to run some driver updates on my headset. So now my headset's acting kind of weird. Well, it's always been acting kind of weird, but it's weirder than normal. Hold on a second. Let me push some buttons here. Okay. Let me see. Is that any better for me? Yes. Okay. That is better for me. I don't know what ANC is, but I just turned it off and it sounds a lot better for me. So shrug. Okay. Then let's see. We got game at 8. The things are not going great for them, but I guess it could be worse. So yeah. We could peek in on how things are going with the Battle of the Harrow Court, or we could just jump into our actual prep and see where things are going in that direction. But overall, it's rough. It's a rough time. They're down to 7 battle points. They need 2 more victory points in the marketplace. They didn't anticipate the marketplace being as difficult as it was. They definitely, I think, they just kind of went in every direction at once. Yeah, it wasn't great. Let's see. Let's get this a little bit more organized. Battle of Harrow Court. All right. And we're going to look for those locations. So we're going to move Harrow Court Tower into Battle of Harrow Court. We're going to move... What else? Market. So Harrow Market. All right. Move that in there, and then the portal room number 2. We've got that down here. Okay, so at least everybody's in the right place, which is good. All right, let me check this stuff. Wait. All right. Okay. I was a little disappointed with the troops malfunctioning. That was kind of a pain in the ass. Yeah, let's take a look at the market. I am a little concerned about their ability to actually complete all of this. There's no way they're going to hold the center now. They could have done that right away with all the AoEs they used to clear space. Let's see. Stack's over here. He's surrounded. We got the fires burning. They're kind of at a size that it would be hard to beat. Right here, we should probably put portal, because there was some confusion about which was which. So switch that. And then switch this here. portal size 2. And then it looks like we ended up calling this portal a fire, which is what it is. So we'll go here and make this a portal size 3. All right. So overall, it's pretty tough. I definitely screwed them over when I killed all the commoners or whatever. So that didn't help them at all. So we do need to like throw some commoners into these houses. Just kind of have them in there hiding. But for the most part, they're pretty fucked. It's not great. Yeah. So I don't really know. I don't know what they're gonna do. They've come too far, I think, to give up now. Because now they've used up half of their available resources dealing with this, and yeah, I don't know what else to tell them. So I guess we'll just kind of see at this point what they decide to do. They've killed one of the generals, but the other two are pretty hale and hardy. So their best bet is to save some people and get them to run over here. I don't know how they intend to do that. I don't know what they intend to do, but it's looking pretty bad. We will then be transitioning to another fight, which I'm assuming is going to be the tower. I don't know if their plan is to throw this fight or to try their best. The dragon's pretty fucking tough, but they are going to be bringing like their own dragon to the fight, so maybe it'll be manageable. We'll have to see. Hold on, let me check something. Here. Sorry, I'm checking all the messages I got. I kind of took the weekend off from everything, I guess. I was really tired, really tired. I tried to quit drinking a Monster every morning. I don't know what I expected to happen, but it felt like I was fighting to not fall into a coma, like a magically induced slumber. It was pretty bad. So would not recommend. Not planning to do that again anytime soon. But it is what it is. But I'm still feeling. I tried to right the ship today with some supplemental ADHD meds and my first Monster of any true meaning in a while, and it's helping a little bit, but I feel like the detoxing of crucial nutrients, crucial Monster Energy drink nutrients from my body. I fell asleep a lot over the last 3 days, 3 or 4 days. Like a lot of just being unconscious, which not a fan. Not a fan at all. So, hopefully that's over with. But yeah. Let's see. Okay. So if they're going up against Le Dragon, right, they're bringing a very strong team against the dragon, and they have a very good effect to use against the dragon. So I do feel confident about their chances in that regard. But at the same time, they only have 7 combat rounds left to finish all this stuff, unless they get extra points. So what we could do is we could reread the adventure and what it kind of recommends for that. So yeah, I guess we could give that a shot. All right, let's do that. All right, Stolen Fate. Okay, Stolen Fate 2. Let's go. All right, Stolen Fate 2, the Destiny War. Let's see. Going into the battle. All right. How can they earn bonus victory points raw? We know that if they retreat, they lose a point. The first time a PC drops to 0, and each time a PC dies, they lose a defense point. So that's bad. So let's see. Grab. Where the fuck is Jack at? Oh, there he is. As a reminder. All right. Treat. Beat. And then death. All right, and we'll pin that for later. Okay. The PCs can take 10-minute break between battle rounds without spending a battle turn and losing defense point. To take a longer break, though, the PCs must choose to spend a battle round resting. But we're doing simultaneous across multiple battles, so they get to be 100% fresh for each one. Choosing to rest during a battle round gives the PCs an hour to spend resting and recovering. If the PCs more than an hour, they'll need to take additional battle rounds to add 1-hour intervals. Remember that each battle round that passes results in a minimum loss of 1 defense point. Okay. If the PCs don't confront this event until battle round 3, additional rocks join the Wrath Riot. Okay. Lightbringers. Okay. So let me see. All right. Okay. Currently, the PCs are struggling to complete the first of the 3 Battle of the Harrow Court scenarios. In this case, the marketplace. Period. They scattered at the beginning of the encounter and without teamwork struggled hard. They are in round 7 and have lost 8 VP. No, 8 BP, right? Yeah. Lost 8 battle points. No, 7? Yeah, 7 battle points. 6 from rounds passing, and 1 from a PC getting 0. They have 6 of the 8 VP they need to win, and I do not think they will give up. This basically guarantees they will be in negative VP for the final 4th encounter against the Prince of Wolves. I seem to recall the adventure had ways to earn more BP. Do you know what the raw ways to earn BP were? All right. So while it rereads that for us, we'll go ahead and get these peeps over to the tower scene. All right. Below is a clean exact. The trumpet gives you more defense points. The paladin gives you more defense points. These are the only card-based points raw. Raw explicitly states that success in events 1 through 3 restore defense points. So, if the PCs defeat the Wrath Riot, they earn 1 defense point. This is a net +1 for finishing the event. Oof. Blight Bringers, Raw does not explicitly grant a DP on defeat, but preventing the rituals provide. Okay, or +2. Okay, and event 3, Horde Breakers. Okay. End of chapter bonus. Important raw detail about negative DP. Defense points can go into the negative, which can have significant ramifications in event 4. If the PCs have no defense points remaining when they start the battle, the broken defenses cause the PCs to become doomed 1 as the combat begins. Yikes. Okay. Okay. What this means for your current table, let's translate raw into your situation. 7 DP, lost around 7, 6 out. PCs still fighting. This is not a problem state. They likely avoid additional DP bleed. They may still claw back +1 DP to remaining on frame success. Even if they don't, going to event 4 at negative DP is canon supported. Alright. So the adventure's like, the worst that happens is you get doomed, according to the adventure. I'm sure the players will be like, that's it? We were stressing out so much about that. But yeah, okay. That's manageable. I don't feel nearly as bad. I mean, doomed is pretty fucking bad, but it's not the end of the world. So, I think if they knew that up front, they would just be like, fuck it, we'll just go negative. Yeah. So, let's see. I'll put everybody up in the top of the tower to start. There. Is Stack going to this? I thought Stack was in the marketplace. I think Stack's. Oh, that's the rock shots. All right. So we'll put everybody here at heights. I don't know, 100. So here, elevation 100. Apply. All right. So they're all in here and they're all ready to go. That's good. Okay. And they got the marketplace to deal with. And they got the final battle. We already statted all that stuff out. It's already good. All right. So then we were working through encounter designs for the rest of this. We got Hell's Gate. Here we go. Oh yeah, looking sick as hell. And then let's see, we've got these Makarati, these fiendish Makarati or whatever, infernal Makarati. So that'll be a thing. Then they'll bust down this gate and they'll go to Hell's Throne. All right, and we didn't finish pimping out Hell's Throne. So we do have Woodchop, the King of Hell. We got the Prince of Wolves here. We need to get him his two ladies here. Okay. All right. I'm gonna message Conti quick. He is deep in the Game Boy Advance Restoration era. He's really enjoying himself. Top 3 VTubers in your Okay, so while we wait for that information, we'll go ahead and get him situated. We should have a folder called Hell at this point. If we don't, then that sucks, but we should. Nope, we don't have a folder called Hell. It's okay. All right, we're gonna go here and put Hell. Nice. And then I'm gonna hit up someone else. Hey, any chance I can get the map / scene of the road realm exploration map? Okay. All right, see if we hear back from any of them. So in Hell, we've got this. Let's bring this boy back up. Good. And then he needs some fine ladies. So we're gonna go to Bestiary Browser. And we're gonna just level him up some succubi, I guess. That seems the easiest way to do it. Alright. So we bring the succubus over. And then we're gonna use this here level up tool. Scale to level. We're gonna level it to 14, maybe 13. It's kind of lame to make succubi like low level for the PCs because like their whole thing is like save or suck, and if they're much lower level than the party, then most of their stuff is just not gonna land. Period. In this case, we're just increasing it because we want them to have, you know, slightly more hit points, I guess. All right, so we'll get rid of that. Okay. And let's see. All right. Sayu VTuber. Widgets. Right, and then Doki Bird. Okay. Doki Bird. Okay, and then Phoebe Chen. Okay. All right, so we got those knocked out. Let's see. We'll go in here. We'll do link actor for this, and succubus, waifu. Nice. All right. So we're gonna. How do I save image? BB Chan. Neat. Doki. Doki Bird. Alright. And Sayu. Alright. Where are these getting down? Let's see. Downloads. Ah, there we go. Get that open. Photoshop. Okay. Open recent. We want Bates token. It's been a hot minute. Let's see if I got it. Nope. Gotta grab it out of the folder. So. Bates token. January. All right. Get rid of that. Okay. Okay, that works. All right. Go here. Card eraser. Check. Okay. So, Fates, Waifu, check. All right. Next up, Doki Bird. That works. Go there. Move background. All right. Good stuff. Check out. Waifu. Doki Bird. And then this last one. Go. No. Good. All right. Excellent. Oh. Waifu. All right. Sweet. Okay. Save for later. Head back in. All right. Go yeah. We'll go to Soul and Fate. We'll go to Actors. We'll go to. All right. A 1, 2, and a 3. All right, excellent. Okay, so we'll do Doki Bird first. Okay. Do Waifu Doki Bird. Appearance. Go. Update. All right. Then we duplicate, and we duplicate again. All right. So we go in here. This is Waifu Seiyu. Switch. Good. Go in here. Switch. Good. I had really wanted like Conti to play in this campaign. I think he would have had a really good time, but it just didn't happen. All right, Waifu, BB, Chan. update, update. Good. All right. So now we drag them out. 1, 2, 3. All right. All right. Sweet. Looks good. Okay, so we got that sorted. Get some lighting in here. Hell's Gate. Steal the lighting from there. So, kind of, I don't know. I feel like all this lighting could just be taken. So we'll grab all of it. And then we'll go here. And we'll just make it work. Alright, so we'll do that. Yeah, that works. Okay, take this, put it over here. Alright, and then take this. Yeah, that works. All right. Then up in here, we could do some glowing pink magenta eyes or whatever. Color intensity, animation, flicker, update. That looks ominous. It's cool. Then we're gonna go here to walls and go ahead and just put, I don't know, like that. That works. Up to here, over. Okay, and then same deal. Just add some like that. Just to give it a feeling of being 3D. Obviously, it's a 2D map, but they won't be able, or I guess they will, they're high level, but they shouldn't need to go interact with any of that shit. It's really just for show. And then here, just do like that. That works. Then we'll do invisible along the back wall there. And then also do invisible that. It's hard to see with the lights, which could be bad. It could mean that we did a bad job with the lights, but in this case, I think it works. And then we do have the rest here that we might want to give them some railing so they don't, fucking fall off. We could just tell them like, no, you're gonna fall off if you go there. But sometimes it's easier to like wait, and then you hear a player say, "Wait, I can't fall off," and it's like, yeah, okay. I know. Do you want to fall off? And they're like, no. And then sometimes you're like, oh yeah, I do want to fall into that lava of mysterious origin and status. All right, then we're gonna go to the scene, and we'll make it darker. We'll actually go to 8.5, so you have to use special lighting to see what's going on. I think that's pretty cool. And then that really makes the statues there look fucking menacing as hell. What we'll do up here then is we'll increase this significantly. There we go. So that he's nice and well lit up there at the top of the stairs. All right. Very cool. So, hey man, what's up? So now we've got Woodshop, the King of Hell, his manipulating advisor, his 3 waifus. His 4th waifu ran away, and joined the party. Party will show up here. Blah blah blah. So that's all good. So now we're looking for the harrowing adventure, which I need to look at it without spoiling too much for myself, which is always tricky. Let's see if I can find it. Like, I might have it in my inventory, in my Google Drive. Well, I guess I'll look for it later. But I need a map, essentially. I don't want to spoil the adventure for myself. I just want a map of the Harrow Realm, because I think in the printed adventure, when they travel through the Harrowed Realm, it's not like... let me scroll down. It's nothing crazy, but it's crazy enough. Let's see. Gatehouse, blah blah blah. Keep going. All right, got a dragon. Here we go. Chapter 3: The Harrowed Realm. Years ago, All-Seeing Hajek owned a magical Harrow deck called the Deck of Harrowed Tales. Within this deck existed a demiplane known as the Harrowed Realm, a place created by Hajek's ancient ancestor, Sonore. Sonore hoped to achieve immortality by living forever within the Harrowed Realm, but over time, the stories she collected and populated into the realm rebelled against her. The greatest of these storykin was the blue dragon Zasrion, and when he and his other conspirators defeated Sonore, he became the leader of the Harrowed Realm, only to discover to his frustration that he could never leave. What the dragon could do, though, was manipulate and dominate any who carried the Deck of Harrowed Tales. Recently, he did this to All-Seeing Hajek, soon after she inherited the magical deck. Under his control, Hajek lured and trapped many in the Harrowed Realm, where they met grisly fate, as Zassaron grafted the reality of their bodies onto his own to fuel his plot to escape to the prime material. The dragon's plot was foiled by adventurers several years ago, releasing an ashamed and abashed Hajek from his control. Eager to restart her life and put an unfortunate episode of the past, Hajek pursued a new life in Absalom, only to meet a tragic fate at the start of this campaign. Hajek wanted nothing more to do with the Deck of Harrowed Tales. After her humiliating servitude to one of its inhabitants, the destruction of the deck was far beyond her skill or that of the adventuring party that rescued her. But she welcomed that group's offer to take the artifact off her hands. Unfortunately, as sometimes happens to adventuring parties, the group eventually got in over their heads, and in time, the Deck of Harrowed Tales found its way into the clutches of the truly dangerous expert on the Harrow, the Prince of Wolves. It was his study of the Deck of Harrowed Tales that inspired the Prince of Wolves' method of invading the Harrowed Court. By using the Harrowed Realm as a sort of stepping stone, the Prince of Wolves formed a temporary bridge across the Abyss and the Harrowed Court. The defeat of his forces in Chapter 1 sent an unexpected and painful message to the Prince of Wolves. While he has no plans to launch a second invasion, he's kept that bridge active just in case. What he doesn't expect, though, is All-Seeing Hajek's ghost to discover the bridge and report it to the PCs. At some point during the final stages of Chapter 2, All-Seeing Hajek discovers that the demons who attacked the Harrow Court managed the invasion by using the Harrowed Realm as a bridge, and blah, 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 blah. All right, so Hajek, aka, or Jack, or both, are like, yeah, go deal with this shit. All right. When this chapter begins, the 6 arches in the Herald Realm's Great Hall fill with shadows. While the PCs can't see through these arches and can't step through them, they can sense, studying the arches, that 4 more cards lie in the Herald Realm. Those who dwell within the Herald Realm are known as Storykin. These are living creatures, but they are almost incapable of thoughts or actions beyond those dictated by the old tales in which they sprang. The Bramble, the Demiplane's heart, is an overgrown temperate wilderness. The majority of the realm's features can be found here. A circus stands at the very center of the Brambles, and a theater at the northwestern edge. Inhabitants of the Herald Realm are said to have been created in the structure to the west, or are remade and reborn there should they perish. In the northeast rises a volcano that serves as a forge. A cold swamp collects in the southeastern edge, and somewhere on the southernmost border is a difficult to find garden. Any of these locations might harbor Sorikin, who could help the PCs track down the outreaching eye. The Dearth. The realm's outskirts form the Dearth, a barren wasteland. The Striding Fortress, a citadel of white stone and gleaming bronze, walks on magical legs through the Dearth. There are no locations of note within the Dearth, that it is said to be quite inhospitable. Okay. Into the Herald Realm. Once the PCs are ready to enter the Herald Realm, they need only travel to the location where the Shadow Prince's dissolving corpse stained the ground, the stain that has grown into a circle 10 feet in diameter. By standing within this circle, the PCs instinctively realize that several of the cards they may own from the Deck of Destiny are now forming links to associated regions within the Herald Realm. By focusing on one of those cards while using the Enter the Herald Court activity, they can transport themselves into that card's associated location with the Herald Realm. The cards in their corresponding locations are as follows. The Big Sky leads to Tick-Tock Peak. The Carnival connects to the Shadow Circus. The Demon's Lantern connects to Demon's Bog. The Empty Throne leads to the Garden of Grief. The Tangled Briar leads to the Bloodbriars. The Vision leads to the Fleshworks. The Herald Realm. Far from the picturesque place All-Seeing Hajek describes, the Herald Realm is a nightmare realm of insanity. Okay. The proximity to the abyss, the influence of invading forces, or of Velstrax have polluted the Demiplane for years. One of the Story King who allied with the dragon Zasaron in the plot to murder Sonore ages ago was a merchant known as the Night Peddler. Unique among Storykin, the Night Peddler discovered a secret that allowed him to exit the Herald Realm for short amounts of time, allowing him to engage in trade with all manner of otherworldly entities. Not long after the deck of Herald Tales was lost by the adventurers who defeated Zasaron, the Night Peddler made a fatal mistake when he tried to treat with a group of Velstrax. The violent fiends betrayed the Night Peddler and used portions of his body to invade the Herald Realm, simultaneously ensuring his permanent demise and securing their own foothold in the Demiplane. The Velstrax soon became obsessed with the creator of this realm, and by combining their mastery of flesh and tools found in the Herald Realm, they brought the murdered Sonore back as one of their own, reincarnating her as a unique Velstrax. Yikes! Alright, so let's see. Velstrax. What? Velstrax? Alright. Let's, oh, I'm in the wrong spot. Right. Velstrax. Do they not actually have to fight any Velstrax? That'd be weird. Okay. Is it a tag? Velstrax. Here we go. Alright. What the fuck is a Velstrax? Alright. Notes. Evangelist. The Velstrax unofficial ambassadors roam the farthest reaches of the plains. Velstrax manifest from the souls of the most extreme masochists or sadistic mortals who are judged and sent on to the plane of shadow. They take on forms that suit their vile predilections, ranging from the lower-ranking augurs. Jesus Christ. Okay. I mean, they kind of sound like the Shadarkai is what they kind of sound like. Are Velstrax just the Paizo version of 5e's Shadarkai? BDSM Shadow Plane denizens with questionable goals, goth fashion, and edgelord alignment. Okay. Velshrax are less goth elves with knives and more pain as cosmic truth ascetics. Let's see. More Cenobite theologians of suffering. Oh, geez. Okay. Self-modifying outsiders. Pain is cosmic principle. Alignment lawful evil by ideologically consistent. Perfect suffering is a metaphysical truth. What if Hellraiser went to seminary and majored in ontology? Jesus Christ. Okay. Wow. These guys are fucked. These guys are really messed up. Okay. Good to know. Let's see. Oh man. Let me check my. I got one more place in my head. Ah, there it is. Okay. Give it to me. I want to see it. All right. So without too many spoilers, let's see if we got any maps. All right, this is the map I wanted. Is that as big as it gets? Let's see. I have the adventure, but I don't wanna accidentally spoil anything. Alright. Good shit. Alright. Okay. So then let's see. What do we got here? Let's go back to reading the actual Stolen Fate adventure. Alright. In the Harrowed Realm. Alright. Evil Circus. Tent poles. Blah, blah, blah. TikTok Peak. Alright. Let me see if any of these maps are provided. TikTok Peak is. So let's go to Harrowed Realm and see what they got for us. Destiny War. Harrowed Realm. Okay. So we've got TikTok Peak. Alright, we got the Garden of Grief, which is just looking rough. Alright, we've got the Fleshworks, which is no longer a crazy maze. Alright, and then we got the Fallen Fortress. Alright. All this seems legit. I'm into it. Okay. So, what maps are we missing then? I guess we're missing a circus map. Alright. Do they even fight Bernadette? Let's see. Bernadette at the Shadow Circus. Okay. What was the elaborate wrought iron first appearing to be a waxy model? Is a crocodile head humanoid with cords of fine silk and leather knitted into his flayed and pinned flesh. His red eyes flick open when characters arrive, and he calls out to them in a hissing voice. In the original Harrowed Realm, Bernadette took Sonore's tongue when he helped betray her. She took it back when she returned along with his fangs and left him bound here in torment. Without his tongue, Bernadette can't speak clearly or use spells that have verbal components. He's also permanently immobilized within his new house. Telepathy is one sure way to communicate with the tormented Rakshasa, as is writing. A The PCs don't supply Birdie with something to write with. He just barely reached down and scraped a few words or shapes of the dirt and begged for aid. He promises to share information. Blah, blah, blah. All right. Blood Briars. Once the site of the theater, called the Sanguine Playhouse, this location today holds nothing more than tangled, overgrown ruins. The PCs travel here via portal. They appear near the building's old, semicircular front steps. There, the corpse of Brambleson, once this realm's rabbit prince and one of the conspirators, hangs in the briars. His ears have been cut off, and both his crown and sword are missing. This is fucked. All right. His illusions of paranoia grew until he murdered Brambleson. All right, characters use spells like Talking Corpse or rituals like Speak the Dead might be able to learn more. A halfling named Althobian Bootblack arrived in the Herald Realm ages ago after stumbling into an ancient trap, and he befriended Brambleson. He remained in hiding during the tumultuous times when adventurers invaded the realm to defeat the dragon Zasaron. When the Valstrax invaded a few years later, hiding didn't help Althobian, and he fell under growing Valstrax influence. His delusions of paranoia grew until he murdered Brambleson, taking the Sword King's crown, ears, and sword. Sonoray ejected Authoriad for the realm to punish him, but she left Brambleson's corpse here out of pique. To Althobian, the Herald Realm was a nightmare turned truth. He never grasped what the Valstrax were or how they tortured his mind. And he is a villain in a different adventure called Assault on the Hunting Lodge 7 from Pathfinder Adventure 160. Wow. Okay. The magic that once infused Brambleson has seeped into his boots, transforming them into greater boots of bounding. More importantly, one of the deck of Destiny cards, the Hidden Truth, has somehow become tucked into the boot. Okay. TikTok Peak is an actual place. Shadow Giants are there. Bleeding Break. Viracos. More Shadow Giants. And then TikTok. Alright. Yeah, this place is fucking crazy. Okay. Molly. The room houses Molly, one of the few Story Kings Herald Realm who retains more or less as she was before the Valstrax invasion. Epitome of an old parable about a midwife who was so focused on her work that she didn't notice her hometown's transformation from living people into vampires until she was the only one left alive. She embodies her storyline here in very much the same way. Molly is horrified and distressed at the changes she's seen, but also can realize that the Valstrax hardly pay her any mind at all. Just as she's relatively unobtrusive before, Molly remains forgetful to the new rulers of the realm today. A potential boon in this case, for she is eager to assist the PCs however she can. She spends most of her time lamenting her fate and daydreaming about the arrival of a group of heroes who can set things right. Okay. She's in there. Yeah, it kind of does sound like the Gator got his comeuppance. This is pretty fucking crazy. This is like Hellraiser hits the harrowing. All right, yeah, there's Molly. Okay. Marsalee the Stitcher. Let's see. She looks horrible. Where did her luscious boobies go from the first edition? Let's see. Then they go here, and there's Sonoray, who looks she's rough. She's rough. And then we get down into the Wolves' Den. Deal with that. Okay, and then that should bring us to the end of the adventure. What is a Mogaran? Mogaran looks sick as hell. All right, let's see. Nope. Mogaran. He looks fucking cool. Should I use that? This is one of my bad guys. Oh well. Mogaran's got a stunning tail. Yada yada yada. Okay. You know what? We're not going to give up on him. They'll have to fight him when they come in. So here we go. Throw that shit down. Hell yeah. Okay. I just don't feel like running a puzzle dungeon. And that will take us through all of book 2. So book 2 is still very beefy. We still got a lot of ground to cover, but essentially we are in a position to run the rest of it. We are going to drop the Queen Mother. So let's see. Content to drop. Oh, that's a scene. I wanted it to be a folder. It's okay. Dropped content. So in order to make that work, I kind of think we should ditch the Hidden Truth and the Queen Mother. So because they're doing so bad. They're doing so bad in the defense of the Harrow Court that we'll say that two of the portals have been just fucked. And then they can't reconcile those. So that would mean they only have the beating to complete. And then they got to go to Sigil the City of Doors, track down those people. Then they come back. They do the Harrowed Court. Sorry, the Harrowed Realm, Hell, and that's the end of book 2. That's pretty solid. Okay. So not bad at all. That would then bring us into book 3, which is weeks and weeks away. So no stress there. We are finally in a very good place with prep in this adventure. A little sad to get rid of the Hidden Truth. We will probably be done with harrowing by the time I need it, so maybe I can just bum the whole thing off ya to supplement. All right. So that seems pretty good. I'm very happy that we are in this position. I think we're doing really good. And then we had done a lot of talk about what we were going to cut and trim and keep in book 3. Oof. Someone cooking some spicy food in my house. All right. Let's see. Fates, GM notes, and what we got here. All right. Let's take a quick gander, a little peek. All right. Let me see. Wild magic tracking, nothing to report. Okay. So then, book 3. All right. So in book 3, we've got the Uprising, Peacock Sickness, Inquisitor, the Eclipse, and the Unicorn. And let's see. Chapter 1, finish collecting available cards. Use leftover cards as monsters in the challenges. Sweep up Robot Apocalypse, easy enough. Fight some Terminators. I think the Alien Core will be out, or is out at that point for Starfinder, so we could hopefully harvest some cool high-level robots from that. Peacock, the Goose, save a small boy from being killed by a swan. I'm actually tempted to just leave the Goose as the Swan as like a swan, and not stress it too much. That'd be kind of funny. Move on past it. Gate 3, Constitution, the Sickness. So the Spell Plague here, I haven't really addressed like what I want to do with this particular one. I do think it's important. I just don't know I just don't know how engaged with it I want to be. You know what I'm saying? So this could be one that let's see, could be damaged by Battle of the Harrowed Fort, or already completed by the opposition. I like that. Intelligence, the Fool is just Jack. The Eclipse, I do like that one. They ride on a spaceship. We'll do just crashing a spaceship. Crashing a spaceship into an asteroid to doom a planet. All right. And then Unicorn, opening of the World Wound, the death of Aerodin, and the subsequent opening of the World Wound unleashed demonic hordes into the world. This event begins the Age of Lost Omens. It was a profound impact on the nations surrounding the World Wound. So this is incredibly ambitious, sort of like the Spell Plague. So I'm not 100% sure how to even proceed. Through that. Yeah, I also don't know why we chose the Unicorn to represent that. Now that I think about it, let me see. Helper, inventory, arrow deck. All right. Unicorn is down under charisma. Empty throne, the Unicorn. Fulfillment of desires, generosity of trust, betrayal, or a false friend. We could also ditch like timelines and just have these cards on the loose. I mean, I feel like we've kind of done a lot in book 2, so that could be a thing. Is there's just no gates? Question mark? I wouldn't really mind. Let's see. Maybe. Whoa. God damn it. Maybe we skip gates this time. I do like that quite a bit. And then we can just put the cards on different people, and it's just a general cleanup at that point. Most of the cards are stolen. The PCs receive an invitation for the Herring 3. They travel to the Arisen and visit Norm's home with the Tree of Answers. The remaining reconcilers are here to stop the PCs in a final confrontation. They must convince the Herring 3 to reveal the secrets of the destroying the Deck of Destiny. Raven has used the power of the Harrow to imprison the Herring 3 within their own inner chambers. Got to get through some trials to open it up. If Jack's still alive, he will pull one last fast one on everyone and betray the betrayer, who is easy to betray because he's always going to betray. Anyways, he lets the cards get stolen but hides the PCs and their allies in the cards. I like that. The characters learn that the stolen cards are held by Raven Nicoletta, a powerful harrower, important to seed Raven early in the adventure. They journey to Varisia and locate the former home of a legendary figure. They need to reach Raven and stop her harrow reading ritual that can change Clarion's fate. Feels like your standard final dungeon situation. Okay. So, book 3 could be real quick. You know what I mean? It could go real quick. For that reason, we may need to look at levels and when we're going to hand out those milestones, because if we're cutting so much content from book 3 and we added so much content to book 2, it makes sense that we would move the milestones up, but we'll find out. All right, I'm going to go have some dinner. The game will be on tonight at 8. Lexaeus 22 will be streaming it. The VOD will be up at some point after that. I'll be back tomorrow night to prep for 7 Dooms for Sandpoint, and then I'll be back on Thursday to prep for Skyhaven. I'll be back Saturday morning to do some Foundry VTT prep work, probably. If not Foundry VTT work, then I'll be working on something else. Hope everybody has a great night, great week, and I'll see you next time.